Okay, so sorry about the if y'all hear traffic, but I just had to pull over because God had just spoken to me like never before. Okay. So, as I stated in my previous video, I went through a divorce and all that, and I was in a place of hurt and anger, and I was talking about how I know I'm supposed to follow God now and pretty much be still. But I was listening to this sermon this morning by Sarah Jakes about Ruth and Naomi about the winter. And oh my God, oh that just whew, oh my God, it just spoke to me because all the while I was going through my divorce or separation and everything, I never stopped talking to God. And I was constantly praying that if there's anything that is not of you, give me the strength to let it go. And, just listening to what I was listening to today, I had a revelation like, wow, I was going through all this with my husband, and, you know, I thought divorce was the answer, when yet it only made me feel worse because I'm sitting here complaining about, oh, this person's hurting me, and the only solution would be to get away from them. If they're hurting you, they're gonna kill you, right? So God spoke to me and said, I went through getting beat. I went through getting nails in my feet, and it's like, do you think it was easy for me to be a representation of Christ through all of that? You're asking me to come into your life, and you're asking to be a disciple, but you don't want to have the sacrifice, or make the sacrifice that I made. You don't want to deal with the pain. You want to run away from it. You want to fall weak to your flesh. And oh my God, that's exactly what I did. Instead of staying in my marriage, this covenant that I took with God and said I would love this man, I picked this man and said I would love him through better or worse, sickness and health. And I took this oath with God, and I broke it because I was hurting, and this person kept hurting me. Instead of staying in God, and all through that time, when before we even separated or whatever, I was praying to God like, help me. I don't know what I'm doing. Help me. I don't this is I'm lost. I am lost. And God was speaking through me through so many people to stay married and pretty much sit still, endure, and continue to walk with God. And he's going to help you, but you're going to have to endure. And it was the day of my divorce, and my husband was sitting there because we had both moved on to relationships wrong, but we had both moved on to relationships, and my husband was like, I a woman is supposed to be so hidden in God that a man has to pretty much go through God to find her. And that spoke to me, but I was still giving in to my flesh like, I hear you, but if I go back to you, you're just gonna do the same thing. Instead of saying, wait, maybe we don't need to do this. And the crazy thing is, when we were together, there were so many people that believed in us, and that was so sad that we didn't work out. They were like, wow, you guys were like special. And it's because when you take a covenant with God, when you choose this person, or God chooses this person, chooses two people to bring together, you're telling God, we're coming together to represent you. That's what the Bible says. You're coming together to represent the church. And we had so many people behind us. We were supposed to be a reflection of Christ. And we were too selfish and full of ourselves. And we had no idea what we were asking for. We had no idea what we were getting into. But today I just had to pull over, because just like it spoke to me, it's going to speak to somebody else before you get divorced. And wow, it's nuts when whew, when I was asking God to remove everything, even after my divorce, and I remove everything, I know God is trying to speak to me. You gotta go. You gotta. I'm sorry if I hurt you, but this has to go. I have to do something different. I feel Him pulling at me and trying to speak to me, and I gotta do whatever it takes. I gotta delete my Facebook so I cannot be distracted. I gotta hear what He's trying to tell me, and this is what it is, like clear as day. And had I stood still and done this months ago, I would have already had this answer. And the good thing about God and the good thing about life is it's never too late. Never too late to please Him and live a life of freedom. Because I noticed when I told God, listen, you got it. And I got rid of everything. I got rid of that relationship that I was in that was not of God, that was only pleasing my flesh. Once I did that, the very next day, I went to work and I got offered a promotion. After that, oh, everything has to go. I gotta listen. He's trying to use me. Okay. Um, bye bye. Uh, wow. And this is what it was. I almost floated. I feel like my soul floated away from my body. I had to stop this car and share this because, Lord, like I've been struggling with it ever since I got my divorce. This isn't right. Something's not right. This wasn't the answer. Something's not. It's it's not right. But now I know, and now that I know, I kept pulling at my ex-husband and saying, pretty much saying what my convictions were and apologizing to him for breaking my vows or whatever, because while we were separated, we were still married, we both had a relationship, it was still wrong, you know. And but I can't make him see that. I can't. He's gonna have to hear as well as me, because I feel like that was something that I'm good at. I'm good at seeing, wanting more for people than they want for themselves, and I have to take a back seat. And just because I hear it doesn't mean they're gonna hear it. So teach, put it out there, but you have to let people hear from God, because that's the only way it's gonna stick. Let's say I go and do that, and I pull him back in, he's not gonna. And I feel like that was a big issue. That was the root. If he doesn't hear it, he's gonna continue that behavior and continue to give in to his flesh, because he doesn't get it. It's not sticking. He doesn't know what I know, that what God went through. He doesn't take it that serious. So that's something that God is gonna have to speak to him. He can speak through me, but he's gonna have to want to listen and want to take it and want to live that life and be a disciple. So all that to say, wow, listen to God when he's speaking to you. Die to your flesh. Okay? Die to your flesh. The flesh will fail you every time because it's only temporary. And then you're like, okay, what now? So, living a righteous life is just, you're so free. Your spirit is so free. I had to give my bitterness to God, give my anger to God, and just let it go. And once I let it go and I gave it to Him, my God, this is where I am. So, all this to say, listen, remove the distractions, remove anything that is just pleasing your flesh and not your spirit, and do what it is that you're being asked. Listen to the angels that God has placed on this earth to lead you and guide you. And I pray that you all have a blessed and beautiful Saturday, as I am going to have. And love y'all. Be blessed. And God is so, so good. Okay. Woo. And yeah. Have a good day.